Okay, I'm back with you with another NFL 2013 preview. The team I wanted to do today was the New England Patriots. Of course, we all know the controversy that went down with the team and with Aaron Hernandez. Didn't really want to talk about that. I mainly wanted to talk about the outlook of the team and what will you expect from the bad ending they had last year in the playoffs against the Baltimore Ravens to the some of the new pieces and some of the guys they lost for next year. I'm just gonna talk about some of the guys they lost. Of course, Wes Welker, he was a free agent. He went to the Denver Broncos. That was a huge hit. You know, it was a guy that always was a safety net for Tom Brady. Of course, they lost Aaron Hernandez, who was another big weapon for them. Underrated in terms because he played behind Rob Gronkowski, who's considered one of the best tight ends in the league, if not the best. So very difficult for him to really showcase himself, but he played really well for him without Rob Gronkowski being there for most of the season. Um, Offensively, those were the two main starters that they lost offensively, and that those are huge. I mean, you talking about a lot of receptions just between the two guys, especially Welker. Um, on the defensive side of the ball, they lost the only starter that played significant. The only player that played significant minutes was Patrick Chung, and he's gone. I believe he went to the Washington Redskins. He was a free agent, so I'm assuming they didn't want to pay him. Really, that's about it in terms of anybody that gets significant playing time. So huge. Not so much defensively because they get guys to replace Patrick Chung, but offensively losing Welker and Hernandez was huge, and it's going to be difficult to replace those guys. Um, and I want to talk about some of the acquisitions. Speaking of some of the guys they need to replace, they did on the offensive side of the ball. They did get Danny Amendola from the St. Louis Rams. He was a free agent. You know, I, yeah, yeah. They still have they still re-signed Julian Edelman. He's still a nice slot guy, but he was injured quite often, especially last year. Same with Danny Amendola. He couldn't stay healthy as a St. Louis Ram, but when healthy, he's a very good slot receiver. And if he could stay healthy, he could possibly replace Wes Welker. But health is always a concern, especially for often injured player. The offensive line stayed mainly intact. Nate Solder, Logan Mankins, Ryan Wendell, Dan Conley, and Sebastian Vollmer have all returned to the team. So the offensive line is still going to protect Tom Brady really well. Rob Gronkowski, his injuries have become an issue. He's gotten hurt the last couple playoffs, before the playoffs. Well, during the playoffs this year he got hurt. He got hurt and he was already coming back off an injury and he re-injured it, so he couldn't really play. So his health is still a concern. Of course, from the other side of wide receiver, you know they have some guys, but no really big names. So we got to see if these guys can step up. Name off some of the guys up to at least up to the third string. Donald Johnson is going to be on the right side of was going to be on the other side of Danny Amendola. You got Dobson and Josh Bryce. No big names. Some guys that got to go out there and prove themselves that they can go out there and play. Of course, you still got Tom Brady. Almost forgot about this person. Tim Tebow, is a guy who last year was used by the Jets. I don't know what to expect out of him. I don't know how Belichick is going to use him, but they were very, they wanted to get him when he was leaving Denver, but the Jets ended up trading for Tim Tebow, so they couldn't get him. I don't understand that fascination with Tim Tebow. No, he he's a good football player, but he's not a good quarterback. You know, you know he, the guy plays hard. He's a strong guy, but his throwing mechanics his throwing mechanics and accuracy and vision are all pretty poor. So I want to see. I wonder how they're gonna use him if they're gonna use him at all. Maybe they'll run some goal line stuff with him. That's really the only way because he could be quite effective with his ability to run and break tackles. The running back is pretty deep at running back. Stephen Ridley, who had a breakout year last year. Shane Vereen had a good year. Leon Washington from the Seattle Seahawks. He's mainly going to be a special team guy, so he's going to improve. He's going to help them improve in that area. Brandon Bolden, another guy that really didn't get no playing time. LeGarrette Blunt was a big one. He's a big bruising back from for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So they really have like I want to say a three back set. With Ridley, Vereen, and LeGarrette Blunt could be like the goal line back. So from a running game standpoint, it looks really good. But problem is with the wideouts, they aren't that deep. You got Amendola, you got Julian Edelman, or guys that can play, but most of these other guys really have to prove themselves. And until then, you have to wonder, um, will the offense struggle? What they don't have the talent. Um, Gronkowski stays hurt. Danny Amendola, his health is also a concern. Edelman's health is a concern. So you got your probably your your three possible leading receivers all have huge injury risk. Um, I'm gonna move on to the defense. Now the defense is quite good actually. Pretty underrated. Last year, especially the front seven. Last year they were top 10. They had a top 10 run defense. Um, didn't get great pressure on the quarterback, but it was much better than prior years. Name off some of the starters. Rob Ninkovich, who's a pretty good linebacker. Good at setting the edge. Really solid pass rusher. Vince Wilfork, probably one of the better players on the defense, if not the best player on the defense. Pretty athletic to be about 350. Um, really claws the middle, stuffs the run, and also very underrated at pressuring the quarterback. Tommy Kelly, this is a guy that he's been overshadowed by Vince Wilfork, but he probably more than likely can make some plays. We'll have to see. Chandler Jones, if you know who he is, he's the brother of light heavyweight champion John Jones. So Chandler Jones is very talented. Didn't have too much a great season, but I expect a lot more out of him. Um, and that's at right defensive end. At linebacker, Gerard Mayo, probably the best linebacker. He one of the one of the leading tacklers in the league. Um, and he really is like a captain on the defense. Sure tackler, solid in pass coverage. Um, you got Brandon Spikes, middle linebacker. Um, not too good against the pass coverage, not too good in pass coverage, but is excellent in run defense. I mean, I've seen him stuff so many runs this year, and Dante for Spikes, I've seen him stuff so many runs, and watching him, coming out of the combine, he was a slow guy, but you knew he was strong, and he showcases it with New England by his great run defense. Dante Hightower, another guy who was good against the run. Of course, he's an Alabama talent. Usually especially from the defensive side of the ball, usually you're gonna get a lot from him, and I expect to see more out of him, especially with the other weapons they got on the defense. He's gonna go very much unnoticed. Um, At left cornerback, you got Akeem Talib, who got injured near the end of the season, so he couldn't finish. He got injured in the Baltimore game. For the most part, he played quite well. For a guy who's been in trouble with the Buccaneers, so the Buccaneers let him go. He's come to New England. Hadn't heard any problems out of him. So they signed him to another 1-year deal. So we'll see what he duplicate the same thing he did last year. He didn't play too great, but he didn't make too many mistakes. Rossard dueling, a guy that's gotten hurt, but the Patriots are very high on him. He's a bigger cornerback, something that's something that a lot of teams are looking for. I believe he's about 6'2". I think he was a wide receiver, so they're very high on him. Fonzo Denard, you know, another solid piece. Made a lot of mistakes, but he can still, that like I said, they're high on some of these younger guys. Kyle Anderson is an older guy, but the Patriots are still high on him. At safety, younger guy Tavon Wilson, um, Adrian Wilson from the Cardinals, who was really good last year. Very underrated, in my opinion. Um, of course, and this is at safety. Of course, they still have Devin McCourty, who was switched from cornerback to safety. Um, you know, I really think he can still play corner. It's just that they were having him in coverage. I mean, they were having him play more of a zone than a bump and run, and he's more of a guy that's gonna get up physical on you because he's not very fast, but he is a physical corner. So I think more so they should do that, and they should put Devin McCourty at corner, alongside Keith to lead, and have Tavon Wilson and Adrian Wilson both back there at safety. I think that will be the more efficient lineup. But we'll see what they do and how they run that, how they change up the depth charts. Because a guy like Bill Belichick will mix it up. He'll put a wide receiver at cornerback if he has to. That's just something he always did. Now I want to talk about the schedule because I went through the schedule of some of the other teams. I went through the schedule with some of the other teams and just want to see what teams they've had to play and how tough the schedule will actually be. Okay, I'm not gonna do really preseason. I'm just gonna mainly skip around to the regular season. Okay, week one they play a Bills team. You know, it, last year was kind of weird. The Bills the first game played them really tough. Then got beaten on pretty bad in the second game. So the Bills are not a good team. Wouldn't expect much. It's a division team, but the division isn't really that good. And this is week one. Week two, you have the Jets. Like I said, another weak team. But like I said, in division games, you always expect the unexpected. Any given Sunday, I believe they play on Sunday. Yeah, it's a night game. This is any given Sunday. We'll have to wait and see. Man, the Jets lost a lot, especially with losing Reeves, and I think I went over that quite a few times. Week three, they have the Buccaneers, who have a revamped secondary, getting Deshaun Golson and Darrell Reeves. We'll see how that will translate on the field. Sounds good on paper, but we'll see how that translates on the field. So right now I'm going to like a what if. Now I'm not gonna say who's gonna win, but I'm gonna say the chances. Will it be a good game? Well, I think it'll be a good game or not. Week four, the Falcons in Atlanta. Ooh, that's gonna be tough. The Falcons are tough at home, and they have improved offense. What Matty Ice, or is that what they call him, Matt Ryan? Has another year in his belt, has a little bit more playoff experience. He's gonna be hungry to get back to the playoff spots. The Bengals, a team that I think is gonna be quite good. No one's talking about them. People always feel that they're just one-hit wonders or whatnot. But we'll have to see. They have improved defense. They still struggle at the receiving core, but I expect that Bengals game to be a good game. Saints. Now the Saints will just try to outscore you. Not really any improvements on defense. But in terms of offense, they're gonna put up the most points. Drew Brees is gonna go out there and sling the ball, and he has the weapons to do it. So I expect that game to be possibly a shootout. Week 7, you have the Jets again, and like I said before, another it's a division game, so you don't know what'll happen. The Dolphins, a team that you know I think will do better than they did last year. They still may be missing a couple pieces, but they did get some pieces. Mike Wallace, Ellerby at linebacker, so they still have Cameron Wake. So I see them being possibly the second best team in that division. Bills and the Jets. I'm sorry, they're horrible. The Steelers. Week 9. I apologize. Week 9, they play the Steelers. Um, the Steelers beat them in the last meeting. Patriots more times than not has had the Steelers number. We'll have to see. Like I said, the Patriots offense has lost two major pieces, and Gronkowski, we don't know how he's going to be at the start of the season. Well, by week 9 he should be there, but injury concerns. And you never can speculate injuries, especially me going into week 9. You really can't speculate on injuries. Anything can happen, but we'll have to see, especially without having that many weapons. But we'll see how the guys play from week 1 through 8. Week 10 is a bye. Week 11 they had the Panthers. Oh my God. Yeah, they had the Panthers. They're probably gonna, we're in Carolina. I think we have a slight chance, maybe, but not gonna really. The Panthers are really not gonna be able to run on the Patriots. It would be nice to beat them though, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens in that game against them. Week 12 against the Broncos, they meet up with Wes Welker again. Ooh, that's gonna be quite a game. Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Um, people always try to pimp that as an epic showdown. It's a team sport. You watch the guys, you watch the teams. It's not just about one guy. One guy can make a difference, but it's all about team. Um, Week 13, you have the Texans. Of course, they played the Texans in divisional game. They beat the Texans, so this is a rematch from then. The Texans got a couple pieces with Ed Reed back there defensively, so we'll see how that game turns out. The Browns are a much improved team. This is week 14. 15 they play the Dolphins again. 16 the Ravens. Rematch of the sorry of the AFC Championship game. The Ravens beat them handily, so we'll see how this. It's a completely new revamped Ravens team, so we'll see how it goes, and we'll see if by that time will the teams, still be playing. Will the teams have really nothing to play for, maybe because of playoff seed and whatnot. But we'll have to see the week 16. Week 17, the Patriots play the Bills. Yet again, see if they have anything to play for, and the Bills more than likely gonna play them tough, but at, the team is just not too good. They don't have any answer. They don't have any answer at quarterback. The offensive line is pretty good. The defense is pretty bad in the front seven. Um, from looking up this, the Patriots' schedule isn't that tough. They got have some notable games. Falcons, the Bengals, possibly the Saints, Steelers. Uh, not my Panthers. Broncos, the Texans, and the Ravens. You could say the Browns, but we don't know the Ravens. So they have about six, I want to say 6 or 7 quality games. The rest of them are teams that we just don't know yet. Teams that really struggled last year, but we'll have to see. It's always the wait and see game, uh, to see if how the players play, how the team by the time they do play the Patriots, how the team is jailed, have other guys stepped up. But that's my outlook on the Patriots. Tell me what you think about. Tell me what you think about the Patriots. Even if you dislike them, I know it's a team that everyone dislikes. Um, they always seem to get guys. No names, and they play good. They find a way to maximize guys' talents. Um, Steal older guys from other teams, and maximize and end their career. So, you know, tell me what you think. Do you think the Patriots will? Do you think the Patriots will have a good season? Think they'll make the playoffs? If so, how far? Um, yeah, if you don't think so, then let me know. And if you have any requests, I'm still going through some of the some of the other teams that I was asked to do. If you have any other requests, just let me know. Like I said, if I miss something, um, let me know in the comments. When doing these videos, sometimes you can miss something. You know, if it's something small, um, like, like, subscribe. You know, and leave a comment down below. Thanks.